Hello everyone! Thank you so much for tuning in again. I'm Robert and this is the Scroll Ensemble Classical Music Improvisation channel. This video is about my upcoming online improvisation summer course. But before I start talking about that, I just wanted to draw your attention to a new playlist with videos for improvisation beginners over there, and it's sort of in an order that I hope makes sense. So the first video should be the simplest and then it builds up a little bit. Let me know what you think. So first of all, in all of my teaching, it's most important to me that the students feel safe to learn and make mistakes, and because of that, you can have fun improvising. For many of the courses this summer, you don't have to have any experience with improvisation. It will be mentioned when you do specifically need some kind of experience or knowledge. Here is the schedule for the online Baroque improvisation summer course. As you can see, there are several courses to choose from. Each course takes 6 days and takes place at the same time each day. Although, as I will explain later, some of them can be followed through recordings at any time of the day. So, if you want to do the Improvise on the Folia course, for instance, it starts at 2, finishes at 2:50, and there will be a class each day from day 1 to 6 that builds up the course. You can take only one course, like the Folia course, or you can take several courses, or you can take all of them, which I would love as well, of course. Some courses are so-called MOOCs. They are shown here in light red, and also for some reason with a star. A MOOC is an online class which many people can take at the same time. Your microphones will be closed and you're following my instructions sort of on your own. So the advantage is nobody is going to hear what you're doing. But there will be homework and space to ask questions. Each time you send in the homework, I will listen to it with all my devotion and send you personal individual feedback by email, and also of course answer any questions you might have. The classes will be recorded, and so you can watch them again, but also you can take the class if you're not free at a specific time given in this schedule. You can then also send in your homework, so if you're just following the recorded version, and your questions. So it's actually basically the same as following the class at the time. You will still get the same amount of personal attention. Although, of course, it will be much more fun if you take the course in real time. You can ask questions in the chat, so there is that one advantage. So let's talk about the different classes. First of all, there is a warm-up session. And here I just want to look at some games we can play to warm up our creative muscles, to feel better about making mistakes, accepting them, to communicate a little bit with each other, even if we are on the internet, to get to know each other a little bit, and of course to have some fun already. Some examples of games I like to play can be found in this playlist, and well, link to that will appear above my head here. Then on the schedule next is the Folia course. There are 2 levels. Level 1 is unsurprisingly for beginners. I will provide an accompaniment and basic guidelines in sheet music. This means that you get to start with a very simple melody, like this one here. Look, it's 3 times the same note even. And then you just learn in small steps how to add some rhythms, some more notes, and well, we can see how far we can get. You can have a look at this video, Improvise a Melody on the Tarantella. Again, the link to it directly will appear there. You can also click in the description. In this video, you get a little bit of an idea how it works. I use the same process as I will in this MOOC, but of course this is the Tarantella and not the Folia. For more advanced musicians, there is Folia Level 2. The prerequisite is that you can already improvise a little bit on La Folia. You don't have to be able to do like fantastic, massive, variations and virtuosic stuff, but if you can just do a few basic rounds, even with slow notes, that's totally fine. The point of this course is to take the next step. After you can do the basics, what else can you do? And we're going to look at written versions of La Folia to enrich our imagination and our variations. The class is not a MOOC. So microphones can be open, we can play for each other, discuss different versions, and so we will learn together. Each class we will look at a different score for inspiration. Then there is the Fenaroli composition class. It is open to all levels, but you do need to understand the concepts in this video. It will again appear there, and you need to be able to write down music, either just on some empty sheet music and then take a photo and send it to me, or on your computer using some notation software, because in this class we will focus on writing. This is a great way to have more time to think about what you want to do. Later you can then use these ideas in improvisation, or just, start composing some little Baroque music. Fenaroli, who is here watching at us from the corner, was possibly the most famous teacher using the so-called partimento pedagogy, which uses a bass line, which is now covered a bit by this video, and in this case also some figures, to help you to learn to improvise and compose in a Baroque style. So we learn little basic building blocks and what we can do with the melody on top of that, and how to put that all together. I did make several videos in this playlist, so you can have a look at that to find out more. We will first zoom in on each phrase, for instance this phrase in the bass, and learn which notes we can use, and how to know which notes you can use. Then we can also look at how we can use our basic grid and maybe make some other forms out of this. For example, a little gigue perhaps. Then there will be some short lectures. Again, you can also only sign up for these, and on the website you can see what kind of topics I'm thinking about. At the moment it's this, but it's a kind of loose collection of ideas. So if you have any specific questions or suggestions for topics, by all means, if it's in time for me to research, by all means add to this list, and then we can look at that as well. And of course we can also discuss things in the moment. Then there are some more intensive classes, focusing on only a few active students. But people can join in passively to learn by watching others' processes. As a side note, if you do want to participate actively, but you feel like you don't really want anyone to be watching, I do also respect that and understand. So then just get in touch and we'll figure out how to do this. And maybe there are anyway no passive students. The first such classes will be on Cadenzas according to Quantz and Tartini. Tartini is here looking adoringly at Quantz. There will be space for 6 active participants. We will start from a very simple framework, as you can see here. It's a bit similar to what I use in my Prelude teaching. Each student will bring a piece which they want to have a cadenza for, and we will then work on elaborating the simple framework by using ideas from that student's piece. This class is open to any level improviser. It does help if you can, of course, easily play the piece that you want to add the cadenza to, so we can use the elements, and then it's easy for you to, to use them. It's also possible to write in this class, or improvise. That's a little bit up to you, or maybe a combination. And in this video you can find out more about Quantz's cadenzas. Finally, there is the Telemann Partimento class. I'm also very excited about this one. This class is open to 4 active participants, but does need a basic understanding of, let's say counterpoint or, figures, so that you understand why these numbers are there and what they sort of mean. If you're not sure, just send a message and ask if you could take the class. As this class will have a bit of a higher level, it will take into account specific questions from the students. The basic idea is to look at partimenti. What can we do with them? What can we use from them? How can we use Telemann's ideas on top of them? And vice versa, maybe we can start constructing our own little Fantasia movements based on all of these ideas. Here's a little example of taking the jumping 2-part counterpoint from Telemann onto this Partimento by Fenaroli. There's also space for some private lessons earlier or later on in the day, in which we can work on any topic of your liking. For example, Capriccio in the style of Quantz, 19th century preludes, Hotteterre preludes, Pascalia's Tarantella's ornamentation, well, whatever you can think of. Well, and if I can do it, just be in touch and we can arrange that. Finally, if you have any more questions, please ask them, for instance, in the comments, or get in touch through our website. You can apply and read all this information quietly through the scrollensemble.com summer. As always, you make me very happy by sending this information to people who might be interested, by liking, subscribing, and coming back to the next video.